Sorry about the hiccups, but this is live, so this is what happens. So the three things that I want to discuss is the mindset, the marketing, the mobilization. Let me get right off into it. Like I said, if you just joined in, my name is Richard Adams. I'm the CEO of MSC Network. I am a business consultant by day, and I am a radio personality in the evening time. Some of you have probably tuned into my show and saw it. If not, then I'll tell you about it a little bit later. Moving along with the presentation. For those of you that are entrepreneurs at heart, are thinking about starting your business or have already started your business or even have had a business for some time now, you understand that anything in life that you try to achieve is going to offer you some highs and lows and some pains and some discomforts, right? So the most important thing, if you look at this slide, mindset. If you've ever had a regular 9 to 5, one of the most challenging things that I found is that the transition from being an employee to being your own boss and being in charge of your own business. It's one of the most difficult transitions that one could make, because the mindset is when you go to work for someone, you automatically know what the responsibilities are. And that is really easy because you know within 2 weeks or once a month, you know exactly what you're going to make. And therefore, you have to make some transition. So I know we're having some glitches. I'm trying to work through it. So basically, this slide, I'm not going to read the slide verbatim to you, but I know we're in and out. There's no substitute for hard work. If you have a business and you're thinking about getting a business, or you've been in business for quite some time, one thing I can guarantee you is that there's no way to be successful without hard work. It's just a part of it. So kind of wrap your head around, if I'm going to be an entrepreneur, if I'm going to be a business person, then I have to be willing to put in the work. Never be discouraged. You will at some point have to pivot. The most important part about understanding this is pivoting. For example, when the pandemic hit, pivoting was it was one of the most important things that businesses had to learn to do. If you had a restaurant, restaurants had to close their doors. They had to go from serving people from the inside to doing curbside and deliveries. If, for example, Ford Motors, General Motors, one of the things they started doing was making respirators and breathing machines and masks. That was how they had to pivot. So at some point, you got to pivot in the business. If you're not willing to pivot or be fluid, then you're probably going to have some challenges moving forward. Know your business. Moving along, know your business. Know what it takes to get to the next level. Know what the next level is. There are several people that I've asked, what is the next level? What does the next level look like? And some people don't know. Or I may ask someone, what kind of business do you have? What is it that you actually do? How do you describe your business? What's your elevator pitch? Do you have an elevator pitch? So you got to have the right mindset if you're going to be into business, and understand that before You can convince somebody to buy into your concept. You have to buy into it, and you have to believe it, and you have to live it if you're going to be a serious business person. Understand that it's a roller coaster. The way to get around that is to be focused. Stay focused. No matter what happens, know what the goal is at hand, because it's going to be highs and lows. It's not always easy, and some of you listening could understand that it's not. It's not always easy. And I don't even know if you could see. Okay, there we go. Create a schedule. There are several people that I mentor in business and that I mentor, period. And one of the things that I harp on, if you don't schedule or have a timeline for what it is that you're going to do with your business, meaning, for example, have a timeline of growth. How are you going to grow? How are you going to grow your business? What does it take to grow your business? What date can you come up with that you can have certain things accomplished? For example, if you want to launch your business at a certain time, let's say I want to launch January, right after New Year's. If you decide that you want to start your business, schedule it, put it on the calendar, have some type of event that will get people to understand that, yes, I'm open. I am a business. This is my grand opening. This is the day that I'm going to start, or this is what's going to be happening on this day. Kind of nail yourself down to being committed to something, because if you don't do step number one, you definitely won't do any other steps after that. I can guarantee you. So some people are trying to build infrastructures so quick, and they feel like they need all the parts. They need to be this way, that way. I need this first. I need all these different things. I need all the pieces. No, you don't. You have everything that you need to be successful. You do. Trust me. You have everything within you to be successful. So keep that in mind. Don't go spending a whole lot of money trying to be extremely successful or be an overnight success, or just understand that you have to be patient and stay focused in the process. And the reason why I'm going through all this mindset thing is, before I give you the information that you can collect and be successful with, you need to understand the mindset and how that is important. How you doing, Robert? Welcome. Back to the slideshow. We talked about creating a schedule. Please make sure you create a schedule. Lock yourself into a situation. I like to put myself in situations where I can't return, right? So I know I want to start a business. I know I want to open a business. I know I want to be successful at something. And I keep thinking about it, but I don't do it. Schedule it. Put it on your calendar. Put certain dates and certain times on your calendar. You may want to do one every month. What are you going to do special? And then lock yourself into it. And then create information to drive whatever it is that you're trying to do. The mindset. We're still talking about mindset. Don't quit. Whatever you do, don't quit. You might pivot. It may be okay to pivot. Pivot meaning, if you're into basketball, sports, anything like that, pivot is basically keeping yourself grounded, but still being able to move. Still being able to keep the goal at task. So if you are a person that let's use a restaurant, for example. If you say, hey, I'm going to have a fried chicken restaurant. Well, that might be what you start out as, and people say, hey, I want to eat healthier. Well, you might have to pivot. You might have to have a vegetarian menu. You might have to use a certain type of oil. So be fluid and be able to pivot when it's necessary. Evaluate where you are in this moment while we're having this conversation. Evaluate where you are. Be honest with yourself. Please be honest with yourself. If you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you're already an entrepreneur, you're already in business, be honest with yourself. Self-evaluate. You don't have to share that information with me or anyone else, but self-evaluate. Where are you financially? Where are you mentally? Are you ready? Are you ready to do business? Are you ready to take on clients? Are you ready for the challenges that come with business? And are you motivated? Are you the type of person that as soon as you hit a bump in the road, are you going to give up? Are you going to give up? So just think about who you are and where you are, and that will kind of allude to the type of business that you would want to go, and will you be able to sustain the business that you're getting into? Know the difference between passion and emotions. A lot of us build businesses, myself, we build businesses on our passion. And a lot of times it's the passion is the talent that drives the business. But once we get the talent on the map and we're telling people, hey, this is what I can do, this is what my business offer, what happens is we keep moving in the talent and we never transition into actual business. We don't transition from creating the passion, taking our passion that we already have, the gift that we were given when we were born or that we developed over a period of time. We take our passion and then we try to turn it into a business. Know the difference between passion and emotion. If you have a business and you're very passionate about and you're offering great quality services, then that's a good thing. But if someone is not satisfied, don't let the emotions prevent you from being passionate about what you do. Not everyone's going to love everything that you do. Not everyone's going to be satisfied with everything that you do. So know the difference between being passionate about something or just being emotional. Emotional people tend to give up easier in business, but through the trials and tribulations, trust me, if your mindset is where it needs to be, then where we're going from this point, you wouldn't have any problem being successful. And the reason I wanted to cover mindset, because a lot of us want to be business people, but we only want to be happy business people. And in business, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows. Right now, I have a business and it's struggling because of the pandemic, but I was able to pivot. So because I was able to pivot and move, keeping my foundation, but using it in a different manner, I'm still successful in business. And you can be the same way if you understand what it's like to be pivot, what it's like to pivot. So having the right mindset is very important. So we're going to move on to what else is important. Branding and marketing yourself. This is something that I'm very passionate about, branding and marketing. With branding and marketing, one of the things that I realize is that we don't brand ourselves properly. We're constantly trying to sell without marketing and branding. You got to be willing to market yourself and brand yourself properly. And I'll go into that and kind of explain what does that look like. You guys let me know if you're still with me because I'm having some connection issues on my end. Let's see. So if you're going to brand yourself, most people get excited about the branding, right? So you want to get your logo made. You got all these fancy smancies that you want to do. I want to put all these intricate design in it. I want this, I want that. And we spend a lot of time, a lot of energy on branding ourselves and creating logos and creating branding material. That's the fun part. But I'm going to let you into a little secret, right? When you start to brand yourself, you have to do certain things with your brand so that people can understand what your brand is about. First of all, having a very clean brand logo. Branding is not just the logo, But branding is the way that the logo is represented, and the way that you represent the logo, the way that you represent your brand. So, how you carry yourself and how your business represents itself should be conducive to the branding that you have. So, for example, if you create this nice, beautiful logo, first of all, if it's clean, it's memorable, people remember those things. And if your business is conducive to the branding that you did, people also remember those things. But I'm going to let you into a little secret. This information is very, very important. With branding, there's this thing called SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. Why am I telling you about SEO? What do you care about SEO? For those of you that are on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, if you are on any social media handle, or you're on any website, or you're on Shopify, you're on any of these websites and you don't have your search engine optimization up, then no one knows who you are, right? So if you name your business after yourself, for example, Trina's Treasures, right? The T-shirt Therapist, Megasource Entertainment, AJ Entertains, or Fusion Entertainment, right? Whatever it is, right? If you brand yourself properly, people will be able to find you. But if you don't brand yourself properly, no one will know who you are or where you are. Is that clear? Let me help you understand. In a nutshell, if you post your logo or picture of yourself, picture of your business, your establishment, and you don't label that picture on the back end, for example, several people post images of their business, or if you're an event planner, or if you are a marketer or an insurance agent, I don't care what you do, you're a realtor, whatever the case is, you sell that house, right? You take a picture of that house, you take a picture of whatever your business establishment does, and you post it on Instagram. Wow, it's pretty, it's beautiful, right? Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. It's beautiful, right? But the thing is, no matter where you are, you want to be found. But you never labeled that. What you did is you just posted that image. You just posted that logo. You just posted your brand. But you didn't tag it. You didn't label it, right? Label it basically meaning right click, go into the back, or on your phone, you go into info. And then you rename the picture. So if you are a restaurant and you have the world's best fried chicken, or you're a singer, you sing the world's best R&B, right? Or you are a designer and you make the world's best design, no one's going to know that. So you put these beautiful pictures up. Now you're putting the burden on the potential customer to locate you. How do they locate you? Because the picture is going to have an encryption saying JPEG 101-73. Google Analytics is being used by every part of social media platform, which is basically if you have Siri, if you have Alexa, if you have Google, and you say, Google, Alexa, Siri, search for the best restaurant in town, or the best soul food restaurant, the best Italian restaurant, the best interior decorator. It uses the tags that you put behind the images that you're posting. I bet you didn't know that. So if you post a picture of yourself, label it if it's related to your business. Label the picture. Don't post a picture and label it. Label the actual picture from the settings of the picture. Go into the information of the picture, rename it something that Google will pick up. So if it's a picture of fried chicken, or if it's a picture of clothing that you design or that you sell, label the image. And that way the algorithm takes you exactly to where you want it to go. A lot of us are not searchable because we have people build websites, build things, run our social media, but they're not telling you about the engine optimization, which basically means I don't know who you are. I don't know to search you by name because I don't know your name. I never met you. I don't know the name of your restaurant. I don't know the name of your business. I don't know the name of your entertainment company. I don't know the name of it. You have it named uniquely after whatever you desire to name it. So there's certain things you can put in it, like, for example, you could put top restaurant, or best restaurant, or favorite this, or number one, or this, or whatever it is that it is. The best organizer, best party planner, or make sure you name it what people will search for. Think about yourself, right? Think about yourself. If you're in a different town and you've never been in that area and you want to eat something specific, or you want a haircut, or you want to go to an establishment, what will you search? And that's what you start to label your search engine optimization. Wherever you're posting these images, whatever your website does. If you have someone building a website, tell them that you're interested in knowing about the search engine optimization, because if you just put a website up, no one's going to know where it is unless they already know who you are. So they don't even need your website if they know who you are. You want the people that you don't have a relationship with. Let's move on, right? Competitive advantage. How do you get a competitive advantage, right? What is it about you that cannot be duplicated? What is it about your brand that stands out? What is it about your company and how you guys provide services that stands out, that can't be duplicated by anybody else? So if you work on having a competitive advantage, so if you sing, or if you cook, or if you have a lawn service, or whatever it is that you do, what gives you the competitive advantage? That's very important. Why should I purchase from you? Why should I buy something from you? Why should I use your service? Be able to tell me why. Don't just say, I do this, because the world is saturated with people that do whatever it is that you do. There are probably so many people that do what you do, but they may not do it the way that you do it. So you make sure that you let them know, this is what I offer. This is what I do. And here's another thing that's important. We hear a lot about demographics, right? Understanding the demographics. What are the demographics? Demographics to me are obvious. You can see them. You can see that it's a female. You can see that their age is from 18 to 32 or 32 to 62. You can see if they're well educated or not. You can see certain things about a male, female, kid, whatever the case is. That is cool, because you're going to need to know the demographics. What kind of traffic heads the way that you want them to go? Whether it's traffic on the internet, whether it's traffic on the roadway. Understand the demographics, but outside of the demographics, what they don't tell you is the social graphics, right? The physical, the social graphics, meaning the mindset. What do they think about? What triggers them? The sociographics, right? Like what turns them on? What triggers them? What do they like to do? For example, if you're downtown, a lot of people work downtown. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11:30, what do people typically do? They eat, right? So if you're going to be a restaurant, if you're in the area, what time is lunch break? Are you open? Are you open during this time? What are you serving during this time? Holidays, right? What are they into? What is it that excites them, and how do you appeal to them? Remember, they're not necessarily going to be looking for you. You have to make yourself attractive to be looked for, right? And you do that by understanding these things. Another important thing is to take away risk. Take away risk. What does that mean? Taking away risk means money back guaranteed. Things that will make people feel more comfortable. Put the burden more on you than the customer. Win the customer by the relationship that you build with them, by letting them know that you're going to deliver on time, that those tangibles that they're looking for are in you and they can trust you, and show them why they can trust you. But take the burden off of them having to do the research and trust you by letting them know they can trust you by showing proof. What's the medium? For example, you have some people that they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Pinterest, they're on TikTok, they're on 6, 7, 8, 9 different platforms, YouTube. But are you being successful across all these platforms? Most likely not. Find the one or the two niches that works for you and stick with it and become a subject matter expert at whatever it is that you're doing. Find out what your two niches is. If it's your website, I recommend everyone have a website. First of all, because Google is like, they call it Google Earth. Why? Because Facebook, TikTok, all these search engines, they all live on Google Earth, right? So because Google is the land of which we all use to search, right? So if you're not putting your analytics or your information or the data from your business into your website and your search engine optimization, I hope I'm not getting too deep for you, but you're not going to be searchable. You're not going to be able to be found unless people know exactly how to enter the words. So there's certain things you need to put in your optimization, whether it's on your social, whether it's on your website. Most of you might know them by hashtags. However, Google is not that friendly with hashtags, right? But social is, LinkedIn, you use hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag this, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Facebook, Twitter, hashtags. Google just wants the meat and potatoes for the most part, right? Right? Best Southern food, best t-shirt shop, best entertainer, right? Best rental company, best this, best that. So put those keywords in there of what you do and list all those services behind the images that you're putting. If you're just posting an image, I'll never see that image. But if you're posting something that I'm interested in, I'm going to Google it and I'm going to find it. As an entrepreneur, know that regardless of how you feel, I hear people say, I'm not a salesperson, I don't sell anything. That's what entrepreneurs do. You sell. That's how you make money. You sell. If you don't sell anything, then you won't make anything. So you have to get your mind wrapped around that you are a salesperson, but you don't have to literally sell things like people do in the old days. You go to a car lot and you're afraid of the car salesman and you're like, oh, there he go. Here he come. Well, now with your business, social media marketing, the way that we do things with technology, you don't even need a salesman to purchase a car. You can broker your deal online. But understand, entrepreneurs are in the business of selling products, content, services, time. Wrap your mind around those things, because that's how you make a profit. If anybody is in business and they're not selling anything, then they're not in business. Get your mind wrapped around being a salesperson. And if you don't want to be a salesperson, at least be able to sell or market yourself. You should be able to sell and market your business. Be able to convince people that you're worthy of even entertaining, right? So if you're not thinking about these things that we're discussing and it makes you uncomfortable, business might not be for you. But keep in mind that it's part of the process, and you can be very successful if you just move. Get the needle, move the needle. And how do you do that? You just go, because the universe will create success for you as you move along. If you stay in one place saying that I need all these things to get started, I need to build my brick and mortar, I need to purchase this, I need to purchase that, then before you know it, you'll be out of business before you can put the we are open sign up, because you've spent so much money. So stop spending so much money. Use the tools and the resources that you have at your fingertips. Use the talents and the gifts that you have to move forward. Get your website built. Websites are very important. Get recognized somewhere. Tell people where you are. You have a lot of people that say, well, I'm not a public person. I don't want to do a video live on Facebook. I don't want to do a webinar. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be seen. Well, that's part of the process. How do I believe in what you're selling or what your business is about if you can't show me that you believe in it? Right? So you want to be a producer behind the scenes? No. At some point, let people know who you are. You see what Tyler Perry does, right? He's not afraid to tell you about his process. You know, he's a producer behind the scene, but at some point, you have to let people know who you are and what you're all about. Here's another important thing. If you want to grow fast, that might not be for you in your business, because business takes its process. It takes time, and maybe not a lot of time for a lot of people, but for the most part, it's a buildup. It's momentum. Business is momentum. When I started my radio station, which was about 6 months ago, when the pandemic first hit, I had a business I was in for 10 years. And then I realized that the business as I knew it was no longer available to me because of the lockdowns, right? People can't be in places too many at one time. And my business is pretty much based on providing a service to a lot of people at the same time. So I pivoted. And when I pivoted, I realized that, wow, I started this radio station and I had about 100 listeners. And within maybe 4 or 5 months, I had about 10,000 followers. 10,000. So if I would have said to myself in the beginning that I'm going to have all these things together, all these things put together, fully built out brick and mortar radio station, that I would be successful. But no, little did I know is that the universe started teaching me how to be better. And every week that I aired my show, it was better and better and better and better and better. So don't try to be a CEO so fast. And don't try to be too bigger than your business, right? Be yourself and let the universe guide you on what you need to do to be more successful. Be specialized. I'm at the very, very bottom. Specialization. What can you do better? This is the most important thing to me. What can you do better? What can you do better than anybody else in your circle? What are you best at? Those make the best business ventures. What comes to you natural? Are you a designer? Are you crafty? Are you into fashion? Are you into arts and entertainment? Are you a restaurant? Whatever it is, what do you do best? And what's unique? And what can you do so easy that no one else can duplicate? So at the end of the day, make sure that these things are what we're really paying attention to and that we're harping on, and we're not trying to develop and become a business of what we think is trending and what do we think is going to make us blow up overnight. Because what really makes you successful is what's in your heart, where you're passionate, and how you let it guide you. I'm going to move right along. Mobilize. This is the last thing, and then we'll be done. This is important. Once you've got the mindset, once you've figured out the marketing, the best way to market yourself, Now it's time to mobilize. This is really, really easy. It seems complicated, but it's really not complicated. It's really not complicated. The best way to mobilize is, first of all, in business, understand what it is to collaborate. Collaborate doesn't mean partnership. I cannot stress that enough. Collaboration does not mean partnership. Are you guys still with me? I don't see. All right, all right. You guys are still there? I'm having some connection issues here. Right, so collaboration is very, very key. And I can't stress that enough. When professionals hire professionals, when I started my business in production, I was one person. And one of the most important things is I wanted to grow, but I couldn't keep up with the success of my business because I was afraid to grow. Collaborate with people. Some of us get stuck in trying to be creative in every way. You got your business, you want to do your own marketing, but you know nothing about marketing. You want to be your own promoter, but you don't know anything about promotions. You want to design your logos and your branding. You want to do all of this by yourself, and you want to become a subject matter expert in all these different areas. Well, what you're not doing during this time is you're not being good at whatever it is that you need to do for your business. Stop trying to be a web developer if you're not a web developer. Stop trying to be a marketing person if you're not a marketing person. Stop trying to be the person that you're not, because professionals hire professionals. Getting back to when I started my production company, I had probably 2 or 3 people. But people would come to me that would require 10, 15 people. So I would contract and I would vet these people to come on my team and collaborate with me. I didn't ask them to come on as full-time employees. I contracted these people that do what my business does. Was I a production guy? Yes. Could I put together events and do really, really big events? Yes. But could I do it by myself? No. Collaborate. Collaborate, 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 collaborate. If you're in any business, understand what it's like to do business to business. What does that mean? That means that if you're offering a service, and there's a business that you have a relationship with that offers a service that you don't offer, can you guys do a trade line with each other? Or at minimum impact. If you own an establishment and you have space, can you lease that space for a period of time in exchange of whatever that business offers you? A lot of that happens in business, especially in startup businesses. Right? So you want to keep an open mind. Collaboration is not partnership. It's basically, hey, you giving me a great price for the service that you're offering. I'm bringing you into this deal that I have, knowing that you're going to have to follow my branding, my strategy, the way that I conduct business. And some of you may already be doing this, right? So the key things is, and I'm going to keep reiterating, your mindset needs to be conducive to your business. Don't build a business where your mindset is not conducive to the business. Marketing. Get out